stand. Galdor's, oh, hang on, I've got to click something. Right. I'll start again. Right. Here be groves, bright forest clearing, oak tree proudly stands. Galdor songs. I'll start again. Bright forest clearing, oak tree proudly stands. Galdor songs are sung in these ancient lands, assembled in groves in tunic and hood, singing gallant songs to Lord of Greenwood. Lundra, Viking Old Norse and Danish for grove, into sacred wood with rune swords they strove. Norse Lundra and land are not the same word, but 1,000 years past their meaning is blurred. Kirkland, Lancashire, hid from the doomsday, does its round churchyard druid past betray. Only one person from the Black Death died, the phantom church grove on the other side. Lancashire, Lunt, hid from Doomsday Book 2, as part of Sefton it had to make do. Lunt was its title. It was to rename, only this was a 9th century name. Many more groves hidden a place name. 3 Lunds in England are found to remain. Many Suffolk land did see Saxon rites, now churches stand on these old sacred sites. Thank you. And now for the best bit. Okay, the corn dolly. So this one's got a little bit of a story to it. I was investigating, you know, I studied lots of Anglo-Saxon history and stuff from various documents, and eventually I put a whole string of documents together in order to reconstruct the life of the corn dolly in Anglo-Saxon England. There's a little bit of assumption in here to fill in gaps based on traditional practices, but mostly it comes from the writings of Bede, St. Bede, and the rites of the Anglo-Saxon peasant, and a late Anglo-Saxon psalter, which shows the last stook of corn called the neck, and shows the corn dolly, on which this is now a rough copy. So here we go. I'll take my, shall I take my glasses off? Why not? Let's try. Let's see if I can do it from memory. The corn dolly, goddess Nerthus, out of her womb born, the goddess Frigg became the queen of the corn, cared for and nurtured by Waldorf Adore, plentiful abundance for winter's store, standing tall and straight, we duly adore, sudden end with sharp blade, as if to war. Thine neck wilt be cut with the greatest of care, thine spirit set free by he who doth dare, with a flying scythe falling to the ground, into 3 sheaves to be twisted and bound, preserving the spirit of summer's corn, to be reborn again, we shout, not mourn. The corn queen spirit now safely preserved, first loaf of bread in the rigs to be served. To the harvest festival, let us now drink hail. To the corn queen, let us now drink hail. Revered through the long winter months of gloom, looking and guarding over spinning loom. In New Year's soil, thee wilt be reborn, our offering to a new crop of corn. We fashion thee into a small soul cake, to keep thine life whole, we wilt not thee bake. Into the mud we return thee to earth, dolly, a symbol of goddess rebirth. The corn queen spirit, bugger, glasses on. Oh no, the dolly's power to be now released, after so much ploughing the drinking feast. Much ale to be drunk this solemn enough day. Tomorrow we plough, but tonight we play. Hail to thee, Nerthus, earth mother of men, 5 blades for thine head and thine fingers 10, filled with ample rations to bring us grace. Be fruitful in Waldorf Adore's embrace. Ah, I only screwed it up in a few places.
Oh, bravo.
Oh dear. Right. Thank you.
Congratulations and happy us, everybody. Got a break in festivals. And God told me it was only 6 days to go. So happy festival. Happy August. We're moving on from here. Hello to Debbie McNamara, who recently came in. Joined us.
Richard, you're breaking up.
Lovely.
Richard, can't hear a word you're saying. Not a word.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just like you're like a dialect, but underwater as well. I'm just wondering if you want, you could send me an email with the list of how you want to run it. And I could share it if that would help, and then maybe, like you did last week or the last month, is cut the video, and that helped your it cut down on the bandwidth.
Or perhaps if everybody else were to mute when the person is speaking, then it would work.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to mute. Let's try to mute.
Okay, so everybody is on mute, and I'm going to welcome Denis. Hello, Denis. Coming up for your poetry?
Yes, okay, I've demuted. I've immutably muted. Okay, right. I have a poem, 2/3 of what was asked, teacher. It's called Trees, Bees, and Healing. August. Summer in a fulsome resplendence, yet tomorrow closes in, furtive and unsought. Is this the final tomorrow, the last of the bees and the birds that swoop and chirrup, make their honey and sting and poison, till all that's left are the trees, friendliest of this earth, the longest beings of all that lives? Unless we poison them too, let them burn, mow them down. We should hug them, lie our body beneath their shelter, scatter our ashes at their feet, oak, ash, yew, fir, and the ginkgo biloba that survived the death of the dinosaur and the mushroom cloud at Nagasaki. It asks to be our friend, to grant us the secret of eternal life if we want it, if we really want it. Finished. Okay, do I have to give another one?
That's another 2 if you've got 2, Denis.
Yes, I've got one. This is very seriously work in progress, and it's quite obviously why. It's about that thing that none of you is listening to or watching on the television for 20 hours a day, going on for the last week and the next week, which I'm afraid, being a South African, cannot avoid. Sport and politics I was weaned on, and now it's sport's turn. It's called Floods of Tears, Win or Lose.
Let's go back up in.
Tokyo 2021. Hello, Wendy. Tokyo 2021. Achieving his golden dream at the 4th attempt, diver Daly knits a tea cozy to house his glowing medal. Union flag on one side, Japan's on the other. Tucks in nicely, he says, a pouch to carry it around without it getting scratched. More taekwondo, heartbreak. Just didn't happen to them today. Rule Britannia, but not in the rowing. And what's wrong with fourth? Charlotte's horse Pumpkin has given absolutely everything. He has a heart of gold. Bronze, more like it. But don't hang it round his neck. Saudi Arabia blitzes Yemen with golden British bombs. Lady slaloms had all sorts of injuries, shoulders, knees, back. Yes, it's a great story, even if they didn't quite make it. She's the 5th youngest Australian women's footballer of all time. It does cost a bit, but then we're saving on the foreign aid thing. Those Rohingyans stranded in a Bangladesh paddy field, and the Nigerian schoolgirls, they'll know it's a sacrifice worth making. And we're 4th in the double sculls. Vast experience, Magic Monday. Her horse has gone rogue. Had to keep my eyes closed for the national anthem. Such an infectious group of girls. She's the most decorated British woman Olympian equestrian of all time. Well, since 776 BC. Djokovic displays frustration in his match against Spain's Pablo Carreño Busta, throwing his racket into the empty stand before smashing another against a net post. Not used to being 4th or paying for the tools of his trade. Jingoistic? Certainly not, save and except a glance at the medal table first thing in the morning. Oh dear, Aussie's up again, though it's likely to change before the competition ends. Fingers crossed, tight. The Athletics Integrity Unit suspends Nigerian sprinter Blessing Okagbari for testing positive for a human growth hormone. While outside the Tokyo circus tents, records are shattered by the hour. Britain's national debt climbs dizzily. COVID victims cower. Fire, wind, rain, icebergs melting, oceans rising, as we watch with closed eyes the Belfast sausage shortage. Where will it end? Biles is the first female athlete to have her own emoji for being a goat, greatest of all time. I feel like I'm having not much fun, she says, and withdraws to focus on her well-being. Whitlock gets a 3rd gold on the pommel horse. He worked so hard, as if the others didn't. Island rowing goals, 1. Team Britain, none. I didn't want to go back to Peckham with nothing, says Kai White, upside down on the saddle of his silver BMX. In the Olympic Games, what matters is not to conquer, but to fight well, says the Baron de Coubertin, founder of the modern Olympics, turning in his grave. P.S. 82 teams have so far won a medal to take home to their Pacific atoll or tax-free British colony.
That's very good, actually, Denis.
That's excellent, Denis. Work in progress. I think you've already got a silver medal there. Keep on going for gold. Go for gold. Can everybody turn microphones mute, please? Seamus, we're going to welcome you with 3 poems. You've got 3 poems.
I can't hear.
But can you come closer? Closer to the microphone.
Can you hear?
No.
I can't. I've got something. Is that what you're asking? I've got something, but that's for later.
Did you
Can
call
you
on
hear
me?
me?
Did you call on me, Rich?
Oh,
I'm not sure. Oh, didn't catch a word. Nope, didn't catch a word.
I think Richard was handing over to you, Seamus, for your turn.
Okay. So if you all mute, okay. Am I mute or can you hear me? Okay. I've moved my computer closer to the door, if that helps. It's closer to yours, Richard. It's a poem that doesn't mention the NHS. It doesn't mention bees, but it mentions a tree. And having grown up on a farm, this is a poem about a hole in a hedge. And if you ever had a hole in a hedge in Ireland, you always cut down a tree and tried to plant it because the wood grow from cutlings in the hole. So this is a poem about a poor farmer who doesn't fix the hole in the hedge. And it's called The Hole in the Hedge. And it goes like this. There's a hole in me hedge and me cows got out. Off to greener pastures, I have no doubt. I saw the breach at 8:30. I don't recall the day or date. I thought nature would take its course and repair itself with fine barbed gorse. But out of sight and out of mind, my wee cows were the Roman kind. Off they went with heads held high, a rare old breed with a roving eye. Sure, I thought for sure they'd come trotting back, chewing the hay from my fresh plump stack, munching and crunching like well-fat yak, next to my leaky windswept shack. But the months went by and the days drew in. I missed me dears and their mooish din. By Holleen, I got quite scared, for I thought someone had ate me herd. I cursed and swore revenge in vain, for I thought I'd never see me girls again. I spent St. Stephen's all on me own, with a heart so heavy like granite stone. No butter, milk, nor cream for me, nor cowbells on my festive tree. No vintage port, nor bluish brie, just bitter cod and tarish tea. Come New Year's, I went to mass and prayed my cows had decent grass. My bovine beauties to return again, show me the love each day. Amen. So I decided to make amends and reorganize my ladies' pens. Cotton wool instead of straw, a shampoo parlor perfumed Francois. Rads, iPads I did install, insulated each leaky wall, and Freeview TVs with radios, all subscribed to the rodeos. And by St. Pat's I got depressed. Didn't wash or even dress. Despite my woes, oh so dire, I moved myself out to the byre. Oh, the smell of sweet shite dung, with longful breaths I filled each lung. I heard a rumour by Valentine's that my harem were in Rathmines. My dairy maids, once numbered 9, ignored the border and boundary line. Off I went on my TVO as fast as my wee grey would go, with fresh warm bales of barley mow. When I arrived, I searched in vain each empty field and mudful lane, through icy, driving, sluggish rain, only to find it moved on again. I headed home all on my own, out through Clonus and up Tyrone, when rumours came flying thick and fast that my wee dears were in East Belfast. Some said that they were seen in bars, smoking dope and stealing cars, wearing skimpy negligees and pigging out on coke-up maize, sucking speed and bone meal weed, taught them Herefords to stampede. And woe betide to my despair, is rumoured that they learned to swear, singing F the Pope to the derriere. On the 12th, they looked quite debonair, with two lambegs and sashes fair, branded too with the Union Jack, and no surrender down each back. No protocol nor deep sea border, my wee loves joined the Grand Orange Order. By then I knew I'd lost my crew. From me humble nest my dears had flew. Maybe shame drove them all mad or wild. Some dirty bull left them with child. I knew them lasses had rebelled, and never more could they be quelled. 12 years ago to this very day, since my livestock went astray, barely a hoof print have I left. 'Tis them I miss, I'm still bereft. Sometimes I lay awake at night and wonder if my herd's all right. Tried counting cattle instead of sheep. Oft times I cried myself to sleep, or slipped into an uneasy dream. If they'd stayed, what could have been? So if your hedge does spring a hole, if you sit back, you'll lose your soul. A stitch in time could have saved my nine, for now I suffer with a feeble mind. For time and cows will wait for no one, and if there's a hole to be seen, then there's work to be done. Patch the breach, or your cows they will run, exposing your fears as your Huns they will shun. To leave you a life devoid of all fun, alone at each dusk with the cold setting sun. Did you get that?
Yes, very good.
That is an untrue story. That's an untrue story.
That is toast.
Hole in the hedge.
Yeah, it's a hole in your hedge, a hole in my head. There's a hole in my head and the words came out.
Some hole, some hedge.
It was. But let that be a lesson to you all. A stitch in time does save nine. I'll go for Mark 2. I'll dedicate this to the bastards at Highgate Council. Sorry for swearing, but that's what they are. It's a poem that it's a true story. When they decided to cut down a big lump of Highgate woods opposite me and decide to build a builder centre, because that's what the word needs, builder centres, you know what I mean? Bastards. Sorry, it is a subject close to my heart. It's called The Hedges of Heaven, and there's bees mentioned in this one. So here we go. It's called The Hedges of Heaven. I'm ditching the hedges of heaven, that God-given high in the sky, to hell with hell's invitations. Let's just adjourn sine die. Life lets the fools fake all the rules, of course then enforce them the swine, and loss has a mean mass of matter, is nothing provided mine. I'm changing my name, swapping places. I'm trading in used alibis. So when the five forces come looking, they'll wonder and wander on by. I like the breeze stuck in the trees, rumbling bees trading lines, stick signs of painted perfection up where the sun doesn't shine. And when I'm nearly departed, about to exhale my last sigh, drain a glass of reflection and watch the parade cry on by. I'm no one's fool, acting it cool, breaking in wind from behind. Lost to me has a mean mass of matter, provided you leave me my mind. I'm feeding you misinformation to keep you depressed and forlorn. I promise I never will leave you, but come back and haunt you with scorn. Don't be a fool, caught between stools, up front, at the back of the brawl. Loss has a mean mass of matter, injustice, no justice at all. Yep. Haringey Council will hand out TPOs, but only when it suits them, you know what I mean?
Was that Seamus?
That's it. I mean, if you want to.
Seamus, was that?
Yeah.
There was another struggle for trees in Queenswood.
Sorry?
Queenswood also had a struggle
no.
for
No,
trees.
No, it was a, if you go down Archway Road towards, you know, the Wellington Garage, the SO Garage, there's a big building centre there, Jewson's and Wolseley. Well, that was there since the Stone Age. Nothing was built on it, and they cut it all down. Does that make sense? Did you get that, Denis?
Juggling between
Yes.
mute and non-mute.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes.
You
I'm
got
sorry. I'm having trouble with. There were echoes there. What you were saying, but it was worth hearing twice.
it's not Queenswood. It's
Right. Okay. Yes.
the tail end of Highgate Woods, going towards the Wellington Garage, towards East Finchley.
Right. Okay. Yes.
You know that lovely building called Wolseley Build Centre and that rubbish.
All right.
Nothing was built there since the Iron Age. You know what I mean?
I thought I bought a bath there,
Well, you should
but
throw
I
it out.
can't get out of it, so I never use it.
Well, I'll buy it off you and throw it. I mean, that's it. Nobody should buy anything in there. Or if I do see you in there, I'll write another poem.
You'll help me out with the bath, okay? But I do shower.
Well,
Maybe that's the subject matter for the next Poetry Society. Anyway, I hand back to Richard.
We cannot see you.
What?
Richard, you're muted.
sorry, Richard, that was all. Crackly.
Huh? Of course not. That is dead.
Trying to lip read.
What is it? Wow.
Earth to Richard.
What's that bird?
Richard.
Well, Christopher, you must be next. Maybe you should do your bit.
You can play as many rooms out.
Okay,
Ridiculous.
all right. If you,
Why don't you read your poem?
yes, right, I shall read. Okay, so this is Trees, Bees, and the NHS. The buzz of Hymenoptera on flowers abound. They're the honey-making heroes who've earned their stripes. waggling their abdomens as they dance around, pointing to pollen fields. They create all the hype, while processor bees fan the nectar till it's ripe. Signaling, as do trees, both above and below ground, detecting scents through their leaves with a sense of smell. Or maybe they can taste, they can certainly make sounds. And through this wood wide web, they keep each other well, talking and feeding each other through mycelium. They cultivate their own natural arboretum. Nurses, doctors, surgeons, consultants, orderlies, constituents all of our National Health Service, whispering at bed ends as if rustling trees. Then they buzz around wards like itinerant bees. Be it NHS, be it tree, or be it bee, they should be nurtured, not exploited to excess. For together they form the wholesome trinity. Meet needs for free at point of delivery.
Yay! Love that Wood Wide Web.
Oh, I like your picture behind you.
30 quid in Grange Oversand's charity shop.
Oh, very
Well
good.
paid.
It's PA got whoever he is.
Well, Christopher, I mean, do you have another one? We seem to be leaderless. Who would like to read? God.
Chris, have you got another poem? Or otherwise we'll go over to Debbie, I think. Debbie? Okay, Debbie, I think it's your turn. Debbie, have you got a poem?
So, we must have somebody who takes control of this, takes it by the scruff of the neck, and so we can hear.
I can be the fat controller.
You're elected.
Thank you, Debbie. You're on you're live, so if you want to take over and take the floor with some of your poetry prose. Can you hear me, Dave? Debbie?
Debbie.
Andrew asked me if I have a poem. Yeah. Hi. The sound is really garbled. I can hardly make out what anyone is saying. Don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear
Just
me?
about, Debbie. Can you come closer or turn your sound up?
Okay.
No. Try that.
Shall I read my poem? Yeah. Okay.
It's
well,
pretty. It's pretty bad, Debbie.
Have an acquiescent silence. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll bash on, although I can hardly hear what anyone is saying. I wrote this one at Christmas, and it's about a very dear topic of mine, as you'll gather. It's called Beckoning. It's not about this week's theme. A tallow candle to light my way. We meet again, old friends, psychosis, lurking maker of addictive dreamscapes, exquisite personalities, desperate life-saving roles for me to play, the weaver of intoxication, compelling new realities from another dimension, who gently arms of illusion about me and pulls me across my half sleep into the darkest waters where life meets death, where dreams and lost souls migrate. Possibilities lie in these wasting depths, but all requiring blood sacrifice. Shine a lamp from offshore on these deep
Sorry,
oceans to call me back to shore, if you will, if you need to.
can you hear anything?
Nothing.
Sorry?
Debbie,
Very
Debbie,
quiet.
sorry to cut you down. It's impossible.
quiet.
It's
Okay,
not
I'll
even the
be close to
volume. It's the connection is dire of Wi-Fi in your house as you can be, or is it like some distance away from where you're sitting now? If you can get as close to the source of the Wi-Fi, you'll get a better reception. Does that help?
Okay, that's probably as close as I can get.
Have you got all other
I'll carry
programs
on.
closed? Have
Shine a
you
lamp.
got all other no other windows open on the internet? That can draw power as well. Close any
I'll
other
carry on.
windows
This
down.
is
So
probably
it's
as close
just
as I can get. Right. Shine a lamp on this deepest of oceans.
impossible.
Call me back to shore, if you will, if you need to, if you must. It's a long way, a journey of many days. There lies another kind of magic, earthborn and of the season. There are pine and holly branches in a copper pot, strewn with twinkling lights in the window, and figures from another mythical history. More ancient, urging Saturnalia celebrations and a time of peace, a northern hemisphere feast. But first I have to pay the ferryman with something dear to get his permission to return. I can't afford. I swim towards the glowy shoreline where the people are. There are those I have to protect. There lies my heart still beating. My upward stroke is strong. The strange dark water creatures are forced to relinquish their grasp. Tendrils of seaweed loosen their grip. Tentacles unwrap. Pincers unpinch. And I emerge shining and breathless where the waters slap and recede and swell and roll, heaving, full of sorrow, sucking me back. I see a bright window, a copper pot filled with pine and holly branches and twinkling lights. Hades smiles a dark smile and glides remorselessly away. One soul returned today. That's it. Yeah. I don't know if you got any of that.
Some of it was, yeah, it's good what I heard.
Yeah, but it's we only get
Yeah,
0.5%.
we got some of it.
We got some of it about the copper pot, etc. It came in at the end. Are you as close? Just sorry to butt in, but are you as close to the source of your internet?
I think she thought you meant closer to the computer.
Closer to your wife's box somewhere in the house. If you're on a laptop, if you could move closer to that, that may help. Or close down any other programs that are open on your computer or indeed on the internet. But otherwise, I think it's painful for both you and the Highgate Society not to hear the beauty of your prose and poetry. It's more frustrating for us as a listener. You obviously put your heart and soul into the last one. Did you get that, Debbie?
Yes. Hello.
Hello, Debbie.
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 Is someone talking to me?
Earth calling Debbie. Big. Massive.
I can't really hear what anyone is saying.
Does that need?
Exactly. And we cannot hear you.
That's my poem.
Let me just try it.
I suppose I have to respect the others.
That's me done for tonight. Debbie. I can see the word Debbie here.
When did you get back the
Can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can I?
think there's anything I can do on
I'm
this.
going to be brutal. I'm going to be brutal, Debbie. And if we can try Wendy, and if you, then we'll have a break. I think then we'll do a break, and maybe if you move closer to your source in the meantime, then we can. I think it'd be nice to start with you again, and maybe recite the poem that you did last time and another one. Would that help? I know you probably didn't hear a word you said. So, Wendy, do you want to take the floor and see how you go?
Yeah, I'll try. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Too loud.
Yeah.
Loud and clear, Wendy.
Tree speaking. Sorry, my bloody phone never rings. And then put it on silent. Sorry. Oh, I can hear myself. Tree speaking to this woman here, trying to capture my beauty on her mobile. Not possible. Look at me standing full rooted, spreading my endless branches, scattering the leaves I have done with. Then I'll make love with the earth and grow more and more, be childish, if it gives her pleasure to spread my seed. I am always touched by the kindness of strangers. Jordan's tree, rooted confidently, branched trophy held, prize hawthorn blooms. Here's my prize. Try taking it from me. Only I can give them life. Break them and they die, my white mistresses. I've got one about a bee. Blower bee. Now I know to mourn the wasp, slalomed in the curtain. He doesn't know how to get free. But now I know to blow a bee. Not panic, he's lost like me. Now I know my belly needs to swell to breathe properly. Now I know how to sing. I've got a diaphragm to help me. Now I know to digest. Don't have to stress. I deserve to eat. And now I know to blow a bee. Not panic. He's just lost like me. Is it 3?
Looking at the speedometer, it's 7:30, so we got an hour. If you want to do another one, Wendy, and then we'll take a 10-minute fidget break and then come back and possibly another.
Okay,
two.
funny enough, the bee program's on BBC4. I am a tree. Are you jealous of me? My branches stretch to faraway lands, hands unchained, brush soft sand, link land and sea, caress waves, shake slippery seaweed. I am a tree. Are you jealous of me? I shape and shift, I drift, seized by winds, I fan a breeze, blown, blustered, flustered at night. Clustered stars compensate fright, remind me I can be anything. I am a tree. I am me. I am poetry. I am a tree. Are you jealous of me? I am a tree. That was written at a Camitan art class, art and poetry. So thanks. That's it.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks.
I like the puns.
Yeah, thanks. The current pun is.
So it's now tea time and pee time if anybody wants to fidget. And then when we come back, if you can have a think when you're peeing and teeing about the next outing, whether it be live or online. I was thinking so far in my head, I can hear charity shops, bathrooms. That's you know, to take it away from trees, bees, and NHS. So I'll leave that with you, and we can reconvene at 1950 if you can set your alarms, and I'll see you at 1950. You can stay on, have a chat anyway. That doesn't matter. And in fact, if Debbie, can you hear me? It might be that we could try to sort you out because it'd be a shame not to be able to hear you. If that makes sense to you down the frozen internet. Nothing there, Debbie. Just staring into space. Debbie, let me try something. Debbie, if we lose Debbie's video, she might have a better power source. Debbie, okay.
Right, hi, Seamus.
Hello, hi, Rich.
Hiya, how you doing?
I'm good. Just actually back from Devon. I suppose that's where I got my hole in the hedge inspiration from.
I really liked that. It was a bit of a marathon. I really liked it, though.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in the usual way.
Okay.
I'm holding the fort for you. We had to lose Debbie because we couldn't, for the life of us, keep her audio at all. And then we brought in Wendy. We've all had a break and we're all coming back at 1950, which is in 7 minutes time. So if you want to, it sounds as if you've got your audio back clean. Maybe
Yeah, it sounds like it. So I would like to read.
Yeah, that would. So if I open at 1950 and suggest you kick the ball off,
Excellent.
and don't forget the subject matter for next month. I threw out two ideas from what we were discussing earlier. One being charity shops, and the other being bathrooms, because of what both Chris and Wendy mentioned. Or sorry, Denis mentioned about his bath, and Wendy mentioned about her beautiful picture.
Okay,
you know, that's
okay, it was charity shops and what?
Bathrooms.
And bathrooms.
You know, that you can be constipated in a bathroom, or you can do other things in bathrooms we won't talk about.
Okay.
I just throw that out there, but you know, you might find something else that might be more inspiration than my gutter humor. Yeah, so
it sounds okay to me.
I'm gonna be back in 6 minutes because I need to do a Jimmy Riddle. Okay. So see you shortly.
What's going on next, Pete?
Oh, God. How have you been, Dennis? I see you there, hiding behind your...
I'm sorry, I walked away. Was he talking to me, Seamus?
No, I just said hello to Dennis,
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
but he's muted, so he's talking to the screen. I want to congratulate him on his Olympic one. That was spot on.
I completely agree. Yeah, wonderful.
Do
Yeah,
you
It's
know?
work in progress as well, apparently.
It's a phony war. That's what it is.
Do you know? I, as a child, I was taken to the Olympic Games in Helsinki in 1952.
My God. Did you win?
My father was a swimming official.
All right.
I'll have a water, please, be.
Now, I'd like to read once every. I want to hear Gwyneth, but she seems to be coming and going quite a lot.
And Dennis, we have, would you believe it, a poem from Richard. I think he was left out of the last round. And so I'll bring Richard in as soon as we're all suited and booted. We're missing Christopher and, oh, there's Gwyneth, hello.
Oh.
And Wendy's gone. And oh, Jesus Christ, Debbie's gone.
Is that Highgate Society? Is that Richard?
That's Richard. That's
Yeah.
That's the top
I
of his
don't know.
head. That blue thing is his head. Oh, you're back, Gavin.
Ah,
Hello.
Debbie's back. But Gwyneth's disappeared.
Gwyneth has gone. So if I'm going to be bold, I'm going to allow Richard to take the floor. And then if we can get Gwyneth back, we'll hear some of her prose and poetry. And we will also then go back through the same cycle as we did before, which I think started off with, was it Andrew?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, Richard, if everybody now could please mute their microphones, and then after Richard does his bit, we can discuss the next month's poetry subject. So, take the floor, Richard.
Excellent. Starting off with a poem about work, which I had mixed relationships with. It's called Highs and Lows. I was always getting promotions, always getting the bloody rise, always hating what I was doing. Highs and lows. I'm heading high to the eddiest high, passing doors, ascending floors, looking for a reason for the boredom found here on this path, this days propped up by a wage, a commotion about a promotion that gets you as low as the ground will allow, and further below in the wrong path hell. What the hell am I doing here? Climbing walls, vertiginous fear, clawing to hold onto a position, a status I don't want. What do I want, which has not been given in all this time driven, wanting more than a white collar glow, a badge, a pennant, an old school tie, a reason that says why I should be here. Still not clear. Oh dear. Move on. And that's my first contribution. So I'm waiting for my special guest to return. But until she does, oh, here she is. But I was walking around kind of Bethlehem Hospital, and I was seeing a lot of signs, and a lot of signs with a lot of rules and regulations, keeping people in who were supposed to be in, and keeping people out like me who were supposed to be out. And so I thought, this is a load of nonsense. I'll make up a load of nonsense rules and regulations. And here to help me is Nurse Knit.
Enter the realm.
Be alert to all old and new jokes.
Follow all instructions.
Be aware, like all inedible products.
Look into those who look out at you.
Be around, following the arc set.
Listen for the orders you give to yourself.
Be a Bacchus like gods drinking wine.
Disguise the voices you are hearing.
Be taking aback that surprise you are feeling.
Hide and find the hidden sign.
Be a band on good form, not grumpy.
Tunnel into and through your own imagination.
Be taking a bath to your childhood play.
Amaze. Always take the right-hand turn.
Or else be a bagnail fraudulently claiming that left side.
Find yourself in the sanctuary.
Be about in the landscape reflected in boating lakes.
Perform the upstroke when going down or through.
Be a bajuki, learn a new language.
Lie down as and when you want to.
Be a baloney, muscling gently in on new territories.
Colour it red, like a poem said.
But don't be a base, as you are worth more.
Project your understanding into the realm.
But don't be abashed by ignorance, because this is the base of all learning.
Type or scribe the answers to your riddle.
Be a bask in the sunshine of ignorance you day.
Make your soul's height be the best and the
Yes,
dawdle. Take time. Yourself and make a musician's soul.
Taking your own tune, ringing and
That was very broken up.
We lost you at the end.
Oh,
We lost you at the end.
But lovely, lovely what I heard.
So before I jump to Gwyneth, are you there, Gwyneth? Nothing. Okay. Just pop up, Gwyneth, and you can jump in at any time. You are privileged. I was thinking we can give a few minutes thought to next month's poetry, and three subjects are hitting me in the head at the moment. One is charity shop, and obviously that's thanks to you, Wendy, and baths. Thank you, Denis, and what you do in the bathroom. And last but not least, I think the internet deserves a slagging if everybody can slag it off in person, hopefully, in the new Highgate Society. So, I mean, that probably doesn't fit in with Andrew's sort of way of doing oldie Englishy, but charity shops didn't exist. Saxons didn't have Wi-Fi, and they certainly didn't have that. They were stinking. Saxons stank. So everybody put up your hands, take a vote. We vote for them three. That's 3, 4. 4. Then it's 5. Okay, that motion carried. This is a democracy. So, Andrew, if you want to take the floor and look at the time, we're 8 o'clock. What time do we finish at?
8:30.
Okay, everybody's got one out, one
more poem.
one more and see how we can get on. Long or
Okay.
short?
So this poem is called August, or in Anglo-Saxon, Viodmanaf, which means the month of weeds. And weeds, of course, could mean herbs. And interestingly enough, in Germany, still in the countryside, people pick their herbs in August and take them to the church to be blessed by the priest. So they've got blessed herbs for the year. So this is about August in Anglo-Saxon times. August, month of weeds and ripening grain, bread from wheat sievings has long been our bane. Bright harvest moon reaping late into night, lifting weary spirits with songs we recite. We pray thee, O Thor, take heed of our plea. To survive winter, we depend on thee. We implore thee, O Thor, please send us no rain. Nerthus blessed us with much corn to sustain. With sun, moon and scythe, the power of free, massive rigs of fine wheat, so mote it be. To bake the first loaf, we gather the corn and make the corn queen for all to adorn. After dusty toil, ale jug in the meads, let's feast and be glad, drink hail to our deeds. Rejoicing harvest, breaking first the baked bread, the gods on our side, be glad of the spread. In bare legs and feet, field of summer wheat, wearing hooded tunics we are complete. Among the rigs, we'll drink and be cheery, there's always the new day to be weary. A good crop of corn to keep us well fed, with full loaf of grain we can look ahead. Tomorrow we thatch and clean the ox fold, but tonight in the rigs we're feeling quite bold.
Yay. It's August again. What is August again?
Viodmanaf.
Viodmanaf.
Yeah. Viodmanaf.
The odd man out.
I can probably recite the months of the Anglo-Saxon year.
Oh yeah, please.
Okay. So after Yule, Solmanaf, Hrethmanaf, Yostramanaf, Trimelsi, Era Litha, Aftera Litha, Viodmanaf, Heiligmanaf, Winterfelleth, Blotmanaf, and Era Yule.
Is that 12?
Yes. And in a leap year, of course, you had Trilithy, a third month of summer.
Trilithy.
Because of their lunar months.
Very good.
They were clever then because.
Okay, thanks. Thanks.
Sorry, was that, Andrew, what were you saying there? Are those Ottolenghi's recipes?
No, they had the Anglo-Saxons, but about once every 2 or 3 years, they had an extra month, which they put in summer. Why not? Let's have an extra month of summer. And also, the weird thing is that Yule was outside of the months. So Christmas, or Yule, wasn't part of this.
They were very clever then, weren't they? Because other civilizations or supposed civilizations.
Richard wanted you to record this, so you haven't got your mic or
Mute Richard. Mute Richard. Or mute Debbie.
Anyway, let's go on to the next one. I had my say. Who's next?
When is Gwyneth going to read her poetry?
Gwyn. She's on the phone. I've missed this.
It's Cyber Chaos. Welcome back to Cyber Chaos. This should be one of our themes, I think, in the months to come.
Yeah. Ricardo Branson's on the blower. Yeah, get me up to space. Yeah. Next.
So who do we think's next? Is it Denis or is it you, Seamus? I'm not sure. Or Christopher? Is it it's somebody's turn?
I think it's.
You are now. You weren't. You've just muted yourself.
Seamus, you muted yourself.
God.
We can see your lips moving, but we're not very good at lip reading.
Sorry for swearing. I thought it was mute. It's a toss-up between Denis and Chris, and I'm going to toss up this plate and see which part of it breaks. So I think Denis, yeah, you broke the first
You want
part.
me to read a poem?
The floor is yours, and then you're Chris, and then I'm going to.
Mine is not a poem by me, but it's by a budding poet, and see if you can recognize him. You might have heard it before, actually. It's called Now It's Dark. To sit beside you in the dark, to walk and hear the singing lark, to stand and look at trees, to feel this wintry breeze, to feel the cold so stark, to be here again at your side, beneath these blankets where we hide. When we cuddle up tight with no one left to fight, then there I will abide. Through the darkness and through the fear, you need to know I will be there. No need to feel lonely, sitting with you only. My love for you is clear. Anybody know who wrote that?
No.
Your host, Richard.
Ah.
Oh,
That.
very nice.
Ah, winter rhyme. Right.
Oh, you got winter rhyme. Oh.
Winter rhyme.
In fact, just pausing there, that would be a great idea for the Highgate Poetry Society. You have to read someone else in the Highgate Society's poem and interpret it yourself. Actually, I'd throw that out there.
Yeah.
Not yeah, that sounds really good because then you can get into their thought pattern or whatever. But I like that, Denis. That was.
Yeah, pity he wasn't here to hear it.
Yeah, but next time. So I'm going to have to gag you now, Denis, if you put on your mute, and we're going to liven up, and we're going to have Christopher. You can have the floor.
No,
can you hear us?
I can't because I only wrote one poem. I'm only capable of writing one poem a month.
1,000 lines. I must write more.
That's not the case because we throw out stuff that we've written over time. So I'm sure you have a good back catalogue of stuff that you have composed, and you're just shy.
Oh, but yeah, but you would have heard it. You would have heard it already.
No, and yeah, but it's in one ear out the other. So we'd like to
do it again.
Oh, we're gonna have a fight.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I'm not letting you off that easily, Richard.
Oh, and by the way, Chris, I passed you in Highgate Village the other day, and I thought, I know that guy, but you were away down the road before I remembered who you were. It's just like to see somebody in the flesh and not in 2D. It's different.
Oh, you should have said hello. You should have said hello. I would know who you are.
Wow,
I would know who you are, especially in that hat.
Well, I was wearing a different hat, but I thought I know, and it was like, no, it's my brain isn't what it used to be. But anyway, hello. So, Chris, you got the floor.
Well, give me a minute then. Get somebody else to read something, and I'll try and find an old poem.
Okay, we come back to you. So I'm going to throw you in the pyre, Wendy, if you can get some of your words and fill the void.
Yeah. By the way, it says Seamus Gavin's network bandwidth is low. Your bandwidth is low. I will read about the NHS. Actually going to read from this book, which I was happy to get published in, called The Brown Envelope, published by Culture Matters. And the Brown Envelope, it's about the DWP and all that, and it's basically poetic mourning, I suppose. But this one is called Swinge Low, Judas Iscariot. Coming for to carry us off, the pendulum swinging above us has come to chop off our heads, to make us go. It scalped us slow, sliced at our necks, swung us high, swung us low. Jargon junta munchers, here they come, the jet set munchers. Waft business diplomas, degrees coming out of their suits. More managed things. Discuss over coffee aromas our lowly livelihoods. Decapitate our front lines, put us into a pyramid on a PowerPoint chart, boxed and accounted, neat and smart. No power, no point. Not even a 1 in 10. We are percentages. 0.67 surplus to requirements, in fact. I'm one of 6.66 in a sub-paragraph of an acronym collective. Is this how a thrift younger of the West Thriding wapentake should be treated? I think not. If employ are employed no more, what the hell chance have we for survival of the death knell of the NHS? Swelled by greed and selfishness, 20,000 soldiers aren't wanted. What hope have we? How low can you go? Thank you.
Oh.
Okay.
See, Richard's managed to move to a different site.
Gwyneth,
Yeah?
Gwyneth,
Can
will
you
you
hear,
read some verse?
can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes,
Perfectly.
Gwyneth, perfectly.
Hey, Gwyneth.
Right. Thank you very much. Hello, yes, as long as you can hear me, I couldn't get sound before.
No.
But Richard, you want a poem, do you?
Richard!
Can you see Richard now?
Yeah,
Yes, he's
Standing
doing
by.
naughty things.
he's cavorting about.
And you
We
can
see
hear
half
me.
your face.
Yes, we can hear you. And we can see half your face.
Oh, well, we're okay then. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Richard.
Okay, I'll see.
Sorry, Richard saved the day. He came charging across the road. That's not my poem, but it should be a poem, shouldn't it? So you want one?
Well, if it's
Right.
good, we'll have two.
You'll have two. There you are, you see. You better hang on. Maybe I should read the good one first. I'll read the one, at least the one my daughter said was the better the one. A bumblebee bumped into my window, not once or twice, but 3 times, you know. Drunk with pollen, did he just lose his way? He turned away as he turned away from the scented flowers. Or just many hours from dawn, just weary perhaps. So bees know do bees know their power, their providence? They fertilize trees. Do they know they help? My favorite tree is an old oak tree, sharing its peace, a haven for birds. An instant friend throughout the year. Nature finds answers. can we find solutions to our overstretched poor National Health Service friends? That's that one.
Yay.
Oh, thank you very
Oh.
much.
Beautiful, beautiful, in usual Gwyneth style.
Unusual. Well, that's a good way, a pleasant way of putting it.
And probably even better in Cameroon. Well,
Cameroon. Oh, there was another one. I don't know where it's got to. I took it down, didn't I? The second one, trees, bees, and the NHS, an odd trio to link together. Trees give me pleasure, bees make me freeze. The National Health Service is a national treasure. Trees refresh the air we breathe. Bees fertilize the food I need. The NHS saves my life. Trees plot our year with amazing beauty. They feed us with fruits and nuts in season. Bees are just like people, full of variety. They have their queens, their royalty, and workers. Some live long lives, others are discarded. An odd trio to link together. Trees, bees, and the National Health Service. So that was the second one. Have you had enough yet?
No, more.
That was absolutely beautiful, Gwyneth. And
More.
now, please, you can take the floor now, and then with one, and then we'll shoot over to Chris, who's gone to his back catalogue for some of his gems.
Well, I don't know where my third one is. It seems to have disappeared. Trees, bees, and the National Health Service. Some of us are big and beautiful. Most of us are just ordinary folk. Visionaries created the National Health Service. As we try to survive the COVID world, we're a little bewildered in the turn of events in this 21st century so-called civilized world. Trees and bees seem to survive, while we sit and languish, nursing our ills, oblivious to our neglect of nature's balance, the perils and threat of the climate change. That's that one. Had enough yet?
Ah, lovely.
Beautiful. Gwyneth, if we march on.
You like that?
Oh, Rich, but how's Richard? Yes, he's gone back across the road.
Right, Rich.
Sorry, I wondered how he got in with you again. Okay, I'll sit and listen to you lot now.
What I would like to suggest is Christopher has a poem, and if we can hear Richard, I'd love to hear some of his poetry. And then I will step back as a good MC should and give the last poem, the last say to Gwyneth.
Oh.
So that's my suggestion. So Christopher, Richard, and then if Gwyneth, you want to close the show, that would be excellent. So Christopher, the floor is yours, and I look forward to it.
Can I just say a word before? Can I just say a word? Christopher?
Yes?
I'm sorry, Richard. Cooey. Richard. You weren't here when I read a poem called Now It's Dark. It went down a bomb.
It's the clangers.
try again.
All right. Okay. Here we go again. The order of the rule of order is Christopher, you say a poem, and then we close with Gwyneth's. Because sorry, Richard, it's going to be like some sort of form of dialect from a dialect underwater, and we've picked for Gwyneth's and Richard's benefit. Denis, I'm not sure whether you were here. We're going to do charity shops, internet, and bathroom for next month's meeting, which will be face to face. Then you get all that.
Okay.
Who are we waiting for, Chris?
No.
Do you want me to do mine then? Yeah, that's right. Oh, you don't need to shut up. All right. Well, as part of the title was about trees and so on, I found an old one that I did called The Woods. But it's echoing. So
Yes,
anyway.
everything's echoing.
Denis, can you mute, please?
He has.
Oh,
it's okay now. Ah, there you go. It's okay now. Oh, all right. Well, never mind. Anyway, it's okay now. Okay, so this is called The Woods, and actually, it's about one of my uncles, and also because the family's name on my mother's side was actually Woodward. So anyway, so the poem is called The Woods. My Uncle Jack felt at home with the woods, sawing and planing them till they were smooth, flat surfaced or shaped and made into goods for consumers to buy, their homes improve. His mother was jolly and lived near the woods. She saved my mother from a sexual attack, waving her copper stick, frightened off the no good. Tummy wobbled when she laughed, mother of Jack. Jack smoked roll-ups while watching wrestling on TV, but they went out when he slept automatically. The same end befell his yellow and green budgie, which liked to shower in the sink, chirping with glee under the tap, lost tragically. His father, a fellow tall of frame, strong, sturdy, or should I say fella, because that was what he was, worked deep in the woods, cutting down mature trees, making staves for bows and barrels by riving logs. On land owned by a dame named Ethel King, wife of Hugh Fortescue, he financed the track at Brooklands in Weybridge for motor racing. Tarmac replaced woods. Nature never came back. Jack's surname was Boxall. He married a Woodward. Would you believe such a coincidence so rare? Appellations, dispositions, both struck a chord. A florist, a woodsman, happy life, no care.
Wow.
Very good.
That was worth digging out.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You've got a lovely backlog, and don't be afraid of bringing it out.
Yes, that's a very clever pun. Actually, that's a very clever pun. Because it was called The Woods.
Log.
Backlog. Yeah.
Or Big Log. Robert Plant. Big Log.
Yes.
So I would like to hand the floor over to Gwyneth, and I've got a suggestion, Gwyneth. You did a beautiful poem once about a tree that you looked out of your window at.
Yes,
I remember distinctly. I think
it would take me the next half hour to find it.
All right. I demand for our next outing you dig it out and we have it.
Oh yes, I'll dig it out. Thank you very much,
Please.
because it was about all the birds in the tree.
That's right. That would have been. It's a very majestic piece of work, and I think I think the last time you played it or said it was at the actual real Highgate Poetry Society, so it brings back memories. Nice memories.
Right. Well, I'll look it out. I promise. I've just got a tiny poem called So we survive, or as we survive. It's all about survivors. As we fit, so we survive within the balance of evolution. A pattern evolving throughout the years. At peace with our purpose, our place in this world. Fitting into nature's balance. Trees and bees survive their plagues. The National Health Service serves all our needs. We must support our NHS. Okay, that's it, survivors. Did you hear that?
Absolutely.
Yes, very good.
Absolutely.
You've got good
I
sound,
wondered
Gwen.
what that was. It's a wee titlet of a poem, but I'll look the other one out, I promise,
Please.
the next time.
And just on the NHS, I noticed, you know, all these new building sites they have, which used to be NHS buildings, you've got these big signs outside saying, thank you, NHS.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
definitely.
Thank you, NHS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Highgate Poetry Society.
Hey. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for coming to rescue me.
That was Richard.
Yes.
Richard the
Richard
Lionheart.
the Saviour. Right.
Richard the Omnipresent.
Richard, he's in.
Here again.
It was like the piano then.
Yeah, that was a lovely evening. I could leave you with a wee one, a quick one. It's about nature as well.
A little one.
Wow.
No, I mean
Sorry.
a little poem, because I know Seamus does.
Does he?
Seamus.
Chris.
Yeah, before you do, can you give us the titles for next time again? Because I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, yes. It's charity shops, as in keeping with Wendy's picture.
Yeah.
With Denis's new bath, which he bought despite my objections.
Bathrooms.
And finally, the internet, because it's really taken our heads this evening.
Okay.
You know,
Would you repeat all that?
in slow motion. We have charity shops, of which Highgate Village. Charity shops.
Oh, charity shops. I thought you said with charity shops.
Charity shops, as in Oxfam.
Yes.
Internet, as in computers. And bathrooms, as in Denis's new bath.
Whose new bath?
Denis. And if Wendy keeps putting her fingers in her cup, we'll talk about hygiene. So, did you get that? Did you get that, Gwyneth?
Charity shops, and the internet, and bathrooms.
Yes.
Have I got it right?
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
And if
A wonderful
you can write a
mixture,
poem
well done.
about the internet and the charity shop's bathroom, you get an extra point.
In Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
Andrew, you have your work cut out for you.
I've got an idea.
So, I mean, if we've got 3 minutes according to the speedometer. So, if you all mute, then I might have a chance of hearing myself. Debbie, you're going to have to mute. Chris, Wendy, yeah, amazing. You could all go to sleep.
And dream of
This is
bees and bathrooms.
Internet and what was it? Hygiene? No, it wasn't. It was charity shops,
Bath-
internet, and bathrooms. So I'll leave you all with one. It's called Off Colour, which is nature's answer to the Northern Ireland crisis over flags and, you know, the colour scheme that's in Northern Ireland, which is either green or orange. On a day beyond days, I gaily did wander. The peat neath my feet did ferry me on. And the wheelbarrow birds in dainty formation, webs made a beeline. Ill-mannered when bid me good morning, and buttercup sparkled all dappled with gold. And the bluebells rang out with perfect profusion. And by the shores of Lahern, my breath nearly left me, for I swear that I heard that green wasn't right. Like orange, red, and blue mixed up the old rainbow. Our colour-blind bigots, I pity your plight.
That's
Well,
a smashing line.
Sorry, Gwyneth?
Sorry, that was a smashing line, a wonderful line, the one you've just said.
Oh yeah, well that's because the DUP don't like gay people, so the rainbow they don't like it, and it's that sort of ancient Protestant type thing of, you know, one man, one, if that makes sense. So sorry to digress, and I continue. I continue, Gwyneth.
Yes.
Well, back to me dander, to muse and to ponder, while colonized colour could cause so much strife, was gawking at Dawkins and ragweed whilst walking, wild nettles and thistles invaded high life. By Bilberry Bay, an atheist heather ambushed a staunch fuchsia and led claimed the bumblebee rumbled, how one man's wrong's no other man's right. Come all you young rare breeds of every persuasion, don't tell me that orange isn't right, like green, red, and blue make the annals of Ulster. Oh, colour-blind bigots, go give up the fight. It's a bit heavy, but if you were in the know, you'd know.
No, it's wonderful.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Very
like
good.
Yes.
thank you.
I tell you, the Reverend Ian Paisley would have sent you to purge.
Oh, Paisley.
Well, somewhere nasty.
No, I want
he
to
lived his
admit-
life as a devil, but
can't
then
give you
buried him as a
greater
hero.
praise.
Both him and Mark. Oh,
Good night.
don't start. Don't start me, Denis.
Good night, all my friends.
Don't start.
I'm
Okay,
leaving
Denis,
now.
it's been a pleasure.
Agitated.
Thank you
Bye,
very
Denis.
much. And I hope you can solve this.
And my special thanks to
Glad
Wendy.
to be back.
Okay, Gwyneth and Wendy and Christopher and Andrew and the Highgate Society. I am now going to implode.
Right. Oh, bye everyone.
Everybody,
Bye,
nice
Wendy.
to see
Yeah,
you.
nice to see
Lovely
you,
to see
Wendy.
you all.